if you don't ever stop to take a moment and really look at what you have been doing, like it makes it really hard to grow.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to season 2 of the Keeping Up with the Calligraphers podcast. If you forgot, because we have been on the longest sabbatical, or maybe if you're new here and you didn't already know who we are, I guess we could go ahead and introduce ourselves. I am Kat of Kat Lauren Calligraphy, and I'm here with
Alex of Signs of Our Lives.
Do you want to give like a quick couple second, like what we do for anybody that might be brand new?
Yeah, I guess we should do that. So we are both event calligraphers, which means that we do calligraphy on lots of different surfaces and in lots of different ways. So we do engraving, hot foiling, painting. I'm probably missing some in between. I also do tattoos,
wood burning,
calligraphy. That's one. LOL. Yeah. So we work with brands. We work at private events, influencer events, weddings, basically anywhere where we personalize things on site. And so we are here to share our experiences with the artist community and the event industry community, because we want people to be able to learn from us. And we know that we all do better when we all do better. So that's why we're here. And that's why we have this podcast. And we're so excited that you're here.
Nailed it. Okay. So this is our first episode back technically. I know you guys got a drop of our crossover episode with Calligraphy Biz Corner. So if you haven't listened to that already, you 10 out of 10 should. It was really good. But so this is like our first episode back, like just the two of us, for season 2. So we are deciding that we wanted to do like a catch-up episode, but in a little bit of a different format, because we still want you guys to be able to have some like actionable takeaways or just things that you can consider whether you want to pick it up and use it in your business or take it and leave it behind. We're going to do a little exercise called Start, Stop, Continue. So things that we want to start doing in our business, things that we want to stop doing in our business or our lives, I guess, and things that we want to continue doing. So that's how we're kind of going to be framing this episode. So it'll be kind of a reflection over the last 6 months, not 6 months, whatever it was, last like quarter or whatever it is since we last
We've been gone for 6 months. Honestly, it might have been at this point. It's like the end of September. 9. I don't know.
I don't think it was. Okay,
it hasn't been 6 months. It's been less. It's been less. Right.
But yeah, so we'll kind of just be reflecting on what the last couple months have been like for our business, and then taking that and seeing how we want to move forward as we launch into the end of the year. Alex, do you want to start?
Yeah. So I kind of feel like we should both start with stop. Things we want to stop doing, things we have stopped doing. Because I bet that we have pretty much the same thing, which, drum roll please, overbooking ourselves. Is anyone surprised? I'm coming off of like oh my God, I feel like a 3 straight week stint of just like project. And I, for some reason, in the midst of that, kept saying yes to more projects because I was like, oh yeah, I could fit that in. And now I'm fucking tired and I don't wanna anymore. I need like a day off, maybe 2. 3 would be great, actually. Any more than that, I start to downward spiral. As some of you might know from my little depressy summer where all of August I was just sad girl Alex. So
it was sad girl summer for you.
Sad girl summer. Yeah. Fuck brat girl summer. I was just fucking sad. So yeah, that's the one thing I want to stop. And I feel like it's the same for you. If you have listened before, we all know this about Kat.
Yeah, I wrote down a couple of things that I feel like all kind of like encompass the same thing. So I said I wanted to stop pretending like I can do it all. Because wow, did I get knocked on my fucking ass this summer. Um, we, well, I guess we didn't. I made a list of just like all the things that I took on this summer in my business and then like personal life. I did not include my like whole ass career, because it's just like a thing in my life. But I was like looking at this list and I did not expect it to take like a full page. So I just like, I'm looking at it and I had like in June, like my stepdad, we had his celebration of life. He had passed away. Then I jumped right into Kenya. So I literally was like gone for like 3 weeks in June. While I was like in Kenya, I was like, oh, well, I'm obviously going to be on the plane for 17 hours one way, and then I won't have my girls. So obviously, I'm going to have time to work on my SEO and my website and this wedding that I have to order everything for when I get back. Like, and I'm obviously going to have the 17 hours on the way back. Like, of course I can do all of these things. That went absolutely horrifically.
Okay, wait. I feel like we didn't talk about this. Did you like not have Wi-Fi, or what happened? You
No,
just were
I
so
pulled an
tired.
all-nighter before because I had to finish stuff for
Oh,
work.
we
So
did talk
then
about
I
this.
ended
Yeah.
up just sleeping the entire flight, which I like.
Which, thank God. I mean, come on. We needed that. You needed that.
I mean, I clearly needed the sleep, but I needed the time to work on things, and I'm still paying for that. So yeah, I'm just very tired. I really like having my hands in all the different things. Um, but I don't know if I'm in a period of burnout or in a season of change. I don't know. We might be seeing a part-time girly not be part-time anymore. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. So, that kind of leads into my second thing that I would like to stop, and it is to stop having a closed mindset. I feel like I have had myself in this box of like, no, like I could never walk away from my job. It's too important. I still feel that way, but like my soul is tired and I don't feel like I'm serving anybody well right now. And that doesn't mean I don't know. I don't know what that means, but I feel like I've had a closed mindset about the way that my business and my career operate in my life and the roles that they have in their life. And I would like to be more open about how that could look, um, whether that's including both things or only one thing for now and whatever. So I would like to stop having a closed mindset around that because I think that will bring me a little bit more ease.
Maybe sprinkle in a little joy.
You know, I don't want to get crazy with it.
Well, you heard it here first, everyone. Kat's opening her. I was gonna say
Opening my
crevices.
mindset. You're going with that, but my mindset is the one we're talking about.
We'll probably edit that out.
No, we're leaving that in.
Oh my God. All right.
Amazing. Amazing.
I
What
feel
else
like
did you have on your stop?
that was literally it because I'm just fucking tired today. I feel like there's just things I want to like start and things that I want to continue, which, oh my God, that probably negates the overdoing it. But
That's okay.
no. Okay. So things that we want to continue, which things we are already doing and we want to continue with. Okay. Sorry. I had to say that out loud. I would like to keep doing outreach and networking, which has always been great for my business and something that I always tell y'all to do. And I know Kat has had such success with that.
I'm a networking girly now.
The way you went from I've never attended a networking event to I am doing 5 million networking events and getting all the inquiries and bookings from it is so cool to see, like in real time. So yeah, is that something you'll continue?
Yes, that was actually first on my list was continue networking. But I want to hear, was there anything that like networking wise that like stood out to you this summer or like a specific instance that like led to something that you were super excited about or like
Hmm. No.
anything you can specifically
I
put? Okay, got it.
No, but I was
Sorry.
gonna say, okay, but here's my thing. The reason for that is because it was Sad Girl Summer, and I was just kind of
Yeah,
like maybe gonna attend networking events, and then I was like, no, I'm too sad. And sometimes it pulls me out of it. Like I'm like, okay, I just gotta
yeah,
talk to people or like go with like I was going to some events with other people, which was really helpful, like having a buddy. But I really struggled going to some things alone, which as like outgoing as I can be at these types of events, it was really weird for me. So I think it's just something where it's like, don't, I mean, maybe force yourself, but like, don't force yourself, like go with a friend, do the thing, but like, don't do the thing.
it doesn't have to look the same as like every time. Like it can look different. Like you can go with a friend if you're feeling sad girl summer, or if you're in your like confident girl era, like then you can go by
Yeah.
yourself. Like maybe it's that like don't count it out, be flexible with how it looks.
Took the words right out of my mouth. Nailed it. No, actually though,
Woo!
I think that was it. Cause I think that was really hard for me to like be like, wow, I don't want to go today because this person isn't going with me or for whatever it was, or like, oh, I don't really want to go alone. Like I need a buddy. And I was really struggling. So sometimes that happens. And
Yeah.
you just gotta reframe some things or just like not go and like go maybe meet up for coffee with one person and that's so much easier than like going to this big ass event.
Yeah. 100%. I do want to share. So I did, it wasn't a networking event per se, but I wanted to highlight this and maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. So I feel like a lot of people are always like, don't do free work, like that kind of stuff. But, and I don't actually know, I think I did tell you this actually. I don't know. But like, so I took on like unpaid work for one of my friends that's a planner. So we did like it was like a networking thing and it was that day that I was doing like the calligraphy on the tablecloth and I'd like pulled out like it was the most y'all like trying to find this fabric for this long ass table like it was literally the most and I was like so upset about it. But then when I was there, I was doing the calligraphy on the table because I was late. People were not supposed to necessarily see me doing it, but I was trying to finish it up because I was coming from another event. Because once again, I said yes to things on the same day, like an idiot, and they extended. So then I was late to that. But then as I was
I
doing
like to
it,
call that optimistic.
yeah, I am like great at being like, yeah, this is Future Cat's problem, and Future Cat is real upset every time. Um, but yeah, so I ended up like people saw me doing it and they were like, oh my God, that's really cool, whatever else. But then when I was waiting in line for my pizza, this guy I was standing in line with, was like, oh, like my name's not on there. And I was like, no, like I have the list. Like I'm the one that did it. Like, what do you mean your name's on there? He's like, oh, well, I didn't register. And I was like, well, that's okay. I'll just do it right now. So I did it right there. He like videoed me doing it. Someone in his Instagram world saw it. She reached out to me and she is actually like my dream client and I will be going to Spain with her next year. So it was just like the like series of events that had to happen there is like wild. So
No, I mean, I feel like that's so telling of like the 6 degrees of networking, right? And like those little seeds that you're planting, like everything grows at different rates. And, I think that's such a perfect example of why networking and outreach has been successful for me personally and how it's, working in your favor now.
yeah, I never thought that inquiry would come from that or like that route. So
Yeah.
that just a lot of like little moments like that I was like, oh yeah, I gotta keep saying yes to things. And they don't all hit like that, obviously, but like I've definitely had saying yes to a lot of opportunities this summer has put me in a lot of rooms that I felt like I had Not that I had no business in, but I was like, how did I get here?
Yeah. Like literally in the same token, I don't know if that's a phrase that's correct, but
Fine.
I was gonna say, like, you've kind of been doing some trades for things as well. And I was gonna say on my list that I would love to continue a trades because I actually did that recently. Again, I did something with someone and I'm gonna be getting some free like base services out of it. Like I forget what they're called. Excited about it. And I was in a place where I could do a trade and it makes me so excited that I have that to look forward to
Yeah.
when I have space in my schedule.
And if you don't know what
uh,
we're talking about with a trade, we did an episode on this. I forget the title, but we'll put it in the show notes. We did an episode talking about when it was an unpopular opinion. Yeah, when is it okay to work for exposure, or is it okay?
yeah.
You gotta go listen. So if you're interested in that, we will put that in the show notes also.
So I think what we're saying
Yeah.
is we're going to continue that. And that's one of the things that I've done recently that I'm excited about. And then I know you've done some trades recently. Has that gotten you anything that you're excited about?
Oh my God. Yes. I can't talk about the specifics of it, of like what was traded or like whatever else. But again, it definitely, there have been opportunities that have put me in really big rooms that have been like transformational, honestly, for my business. So it's something that I will continue doing moving forward. It's something that honestly has served me always in my business. I have not always been great about picking the yeses that make sense. I've definitely had things that I tried to trade for and I was like, nope, this wasn't it. So again, it's not, a home run every time, but I've definitely gotten better about kind of like vetting my yeses, I guess, before I make them, like really understanding like how that conversation should happen, evaluating like the trade, like what's on the other side of it for me and making sure that's balanced on both ends. But yeah, I will continue to be open about business trades.
Yeah. Well, and I think it goes to show that you're valuing yourself more as also at the same time as you're providing more value, right? So like
Yeah.
I'm just going to transition back to another thing that I want to continue is charging my value. And
Yes.
I feel like I'm doing a good job about that. And I'm basing this off of like every month, probably more than once a month. I go over my numbers and I compare it to last year and I compare it to the year before and I compare it to the quarter and I compare it annually how I'm doing and like look at my trailing 12 months and all of that. And Kat's making a face at me, like, what the hell, Alex?
Never have I ever. Put her finger down, F.
But I think that like also helps with like knowing like, okay, like I'm charging my value, like I feel like I'm providing this, and also people are like the client feedback I'm receiving is really positive. And so if I'm continuing to get positive client feedback, I'm continuing to get yeses, obviously like a mixture of yeses and nos with
Yeah,
inquiries and
like a good
stuff like that.
ratio.
Yeah. Then I feel like, I'm doing a good job. And I think as long as we're like constantly reflecting on that, or not constantly, consistently, that's a better
Yeah.
word. Then, you can continue to charge your value as you continue to provide more value. So
I have a question because
yeah.
I feel like people in the education sphere of calligraphy, I feel like people say like if you're overbooked, you're not charging enough. Do you feel like that you are, and I'm not saying that you are, but like, do you feel like it's genuinely like your pricing feels right? There's just all of these opportunities that you want to say yes to, and they just all happen to be at the same time? Or is that something that you ever look at?
No, yeah, that's such a good question.
Because I feel like it's not always like one to one. Like just because I have a lot of people saying yes doesn't mean I'm not charging enough, is what I'm trying
Right.
to get at.
Yeah. I do actually still get like a solid I'm not the type of person who I can go back and be like, okay, how many people reach out and how many people said yes, how many people said no? Like, this is just a guesstimate. I know that is
Yeah.
important information, especially at the beginning stages of your business. For me, I just can't. Like, I can't, unless it's like something where I'm like, whoa, I'd be like dying to work with this person. I can't, like, every single person that emails me or reaches out be like, oh my God, like they said no and I should track that. Like I just
Yeah.
can't live there. It doesn't work for me personally, like mindset wise. But I do still get a lot of no's. Like I can think of at least like 10 off the top of my head, probably right now, of like the past 2 months of people that have just said like, oh, sorry, no. So I feel like it is like, I don't know, I feel like people say like that 50-50 balance of if you're getting like 50-50
Is it
yeses.
50-50? Is that the
Is
number?
that the right? I don't know. Is that the right number? Now I'm doubting myself.
I don't
I thought it was
know.
like 50-50 or like 60-40.
As I thought it was like 60-40 or like 70-30 or something. I don't know. I'm
Okay,
just
well,
throwing numbers out there now.
we more people should be saying yes than no, but I think
Yeah,
that's the
no.
number.
No, yeah.
I'm not confident that's the number. um,
60-40 feels right. Like you want like 60% of your people to say yes, 40% say no. I
yeah.
feel like if you're inching up towards like 70% are saying yes, that's when it's maybe time to start thinking about like raising prices. Again, these are just like, we're clearly just throwing numbers out here. This is not a hard and fast rule for anybody. I'm just thinking for myself, I feel like those are the numbers that I would reflect on, and that may or may
Yeah.
not be something I've heard before.
Listen, okay, now I'm doubting myself. I don't know what the correct,
Oh no, sorry.
like, whatever. No, it's okay. I don't know what the correct number is, but I'm just saying, I think, like, I feel confident that, like, I'm pricing where I need to because I'm getting a good amount of no's, and because I'm getting a good amount of yeses. And also, I do say yes when I shouldn't sometimes when I go, oh, I could just like stack that onto my LA trip. Oh, I could just stack that onto me doing in studio projects. And then
Yeah.
I go, why the fuck did I do that? You know?
Why did I tell Kat yes?
Why did I tell her I want to record podcasts with her? What the fuck was I thinking? But yeah, so that's where I'm at with that.
So you feel like your pricing is good. It's just there's opportunities that you're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. I'll just stack it. And then you're like, wait, shouldn't have done
100%.
that. Okay.
Yes. Because I'm very this is a thing between me and my partner that I'm very optimistic. In
Same.
all things in life. I'm like, yeah, I won't be tired. Yeah, I can do it. Yeah, I'll fit that in on my day off. Yeah. And then here we are.
Can't relate. I'm a boundary queen.
You're so good at boundaries.
Just kidding. My boundaries are trash.
So charging my value is something I want to continue. However, wait. Okay, and you said yes to that. Can I swoop in with the things I want to that I've started doing? Okay, so here's me swooping in with something that I would have started doing since we talked on our pricing episode. I was typically charging hourly. Like when I would quote people, I'd say, oh, I'm X per hour, and it's a 3-hour minimum. And now I've just started saying, hey, I'm X for 3 hours plus travel or whatever it is. And I am not doing statistics in my free time of how many yeses or how many no's, but I feel like I'm solely going off of my feelings right now. I feel like it feels better to just be like, this is my number. And I've also since increased my number and I've gotten a lot of yeses. I think it's kind of just like this even price that people are like, oh yeah, sure. You know?
Yeah, I agree. I've started doing that too. I think we had talked about this with Amanda maybe before we did the podcast with her. We're just unintentionally plugging all of our previous episodes. I'm so sorry. This really is not.
No, actually, everyone needs to go back and listen to every single episode.
But I think when we were talking with Amanda, not on the like episode, but when we were just like shooting the shit with her, she had talked about potentially moving to like a pricing package.
Yes.
And I do feel like a lot of people, and this could be regional specific, I don't know. Again, you kind of are going to have to feel that out for like your area, whatever else. But I do feel like a lot of people have been way more responsive to like, this is my fee, it includes everything. I've actually started even just like lumping travel into that
Same.
for like on-site and wedding stuff. I'm just being like, here it is. And I feel like for the events that we're doing, like some of the corporate private event kind of stuff, like it's so much easier for them to not have to do the math. It's just like, oh yes, like this was the budget I have for it. You fit within the budget, phenomenal. Let's do it. Like
Hmm.
I do feel like I have gotten a like better responses for sure that are like, yep, great, let's book it. Like I've been very shocked. And I do feel like that has made for less negotiations. Like I feel like before when I was like, I'm X amount per hour for, 4 hours or 3 hours or, whatever else, and then plus travel this or whatever. And I feel like that almost was inviting people to be like, oh, well, what if I only did 3 hours or, whatever else, which like I'm still happy to do. Um, but I don't know, for some reason, I feel like people felt like they had more permission to try to negotiate that. Whereas now it's either like, yes, let's do it, or like, no, we're not going to do it. So could I be losing out without some of that negotiation? Possibly. But I still feel like people that would have done that anyway are still emailing back and being like, oh, actually, our budget was this. Do you have any flexibility? And I think that I don't know, for whatever reason, the other way around, it feels like it's them in the power seat of like, well, what if we do this? And like, I feel like I have to accommodate or not. Whereas like the way that we've been pricing, like with the package, it's more like, hey, like what can you offer to kind of meet us at this budget? And now I can kind of play around with that. So I don't know, it feels like it has me in the power seat at that point.
No, I totally agree. And I was gonna say too, like some people are like, "Oh, is that your rate?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Okay, well, we only need you for 2 hours, but we'll still pay that rate."
Phenomenal.
Which, yeah, I'm like, okay, like, thank you. Where some people are like, "Oh, well, how much for 2 hours?" They might come back with that, but sometimes people say, "Okay,"
Yeah.
so it works out. Um, okay, what are more things you want to? What are more things you want to continue?
I want to continue showing up authentically, which is like, I don't know, it feels like so like catch all, but like I know, but no, genuinely, it's not even about like content wise or like whatever else. I am actually having the fucking time of my life like in people's comment sections on Instagram, like just like I don't know, the way I've been like interacting with people like in my DMs and like whatever else has been so fun. But I don't know, again, like I don't know what the vibe is, but I like pulled a brand deal out of a comment on somebody else's video just based on how I was like going back and forth with them. And then like someone else that just like I had started following them and then I'd commented and then they responded in a DM. I don't know. It's just like instead of just being like, so beautiful or like whatever else, like I've really just been like typing what is
What unhinged thought you have
happening
in
in
your
my
head?
head. Yeah. And that has been really cool for me to connect with a lot of people. It's not, I mean, I'm not going to call that like a money making activity where I'm like going out there and like trying to do these things, but it's just been nice because I feel like if you've listened to any of our previous episodes, like previously I had never gotten any like business from Instagram and I was like, I don't really get engagement. Like I don't really have people like talking to me or
Oh
anything like that.
my
So
god.
it's been fun to like take advantage of that. Um, and just like, I don't know, like really stepping into the whole like event, like I'm gonna dress up for the event, like even the way which like if that's not a, like part of you and what you like doing, then like don't do that. But like I love picking out my outfit for the event. Like it is the only time I really leave my house and like get dressed. So I like love going all out for that and like I'm finally in a spot where people like know that about me. And so even clients that normally are like black, like business casual, normally are like, well, this is the theme for the event. If you want to dress up, I'm like, yes, like finally people get me. And like, yeah, so that's always fun. And like posting the outfits is always fun and stuff like that. So yeah, that was not something I expected to be in my business, but that has been a lot of fun for me.
The way that I actually like always need your seal of approval for like half the events that I do, because I'm like, oh, what's Kat gonna think? If she or I like wait for my outfit post, I like wait for you to comment on it, like if it's cute or not.
No, but you actually put me in a group chat with your sister and you're like, listen,
Like,
is
please
this the
help me.
outfit? Yes or no?
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying so hard to please you.
I get so many people in my DMs that are like, oh my God, like, where do you shop? Like, I love DMing about that stuff. I would love nothing more than to like send you links for everything, like all of that. So if you're into that, like, please let into my DMs because that is so fun for me.
Oh my gosh,
But
that's
yeah, so all of
amazing.
that to say, like, that's what I mean by showing up authentically, not necessarily like me like crying on camera or like sharing all these different things about me. Like, I think like, I don't know, showing up authentically can look different for everybody. And that would be very inauthentic to me. Like, that's just like not who I am as a person. Um, but just like showing, I guess, more of my personality maybe is a better way of saying it. Like the things that are light me up and are a lot of fun. Maybe that is a better way of saying it than like showing up authentically, like showing
Yeah,
more personality.
I agree. Also, I think like same with on my list. We have the same list. We didn't even make this together, but we have the same list. Was for me was working with brands that really align with my values, because I'm just so happy to be working with brands that do value my personality and how I will chat with everyone, and I will chat with all the vendors. I will chat with every person that walks up to me. Like I will be dancing, I will be giggling, like, and people who like really enjoy that and like you said, like you have clients that value that you're gonna show up looking like amazing, and I want the same thing and I want to continue that. Like I have quite a few clients that are like, yes, we like literally love when you come, you bring the personality, you know. Actually, that's like a stop/continue. Stop working with brands that don't align. Continue working with brands that do align and do value exactly what you're bringing to the table.
Yeah.
um if you want someone who does fine art and sits quietly, it won't be me. So
Couldn't be me. But I think too, for anybody that might be listening, like we're in like year 6 and 7 of our business. Like we have definitely said yes repeatedly to a lot of things that didn't necessarily like the way that I have shown up at so many events with a fucking black button up all the way to the top, like covering all of my tattoos, like all of that. Like we like we've gone through that phase of our business, right? Like, and there's no shame in any of that. If that's where you're at in your business, like we were there for quite some time and like even spent an extended year or two there because of the pandemic Lovato. Like um but there definitely have started to have like we're starting to have a lot more events that align more with like our personalities and all of that. So when you get those opportunities, like jump at them for sure.
Heck yeah. Okay, the next
um,
thing that I want to continue doing is sending client feedback. I worked with this venue, I guess, yeah, it's a venue for their like festivals, like their spirit festival thing. And this is like the third or fourth time I've worked with them. And after the last one, I sent them some feedback and they put it in place for a recent festival that we did. And oh, it was like so good. I love that they like took into account my feedback and it was like such a better guest experience. And I
that's
all that
awesome.
to say, like, I think that like I always do that, but I'm gonna continue doing that. And I think it makes such a difference, especially for those continuing clients.
Hmm.
And then also like I said before, like it's showcasing your value that you can provide. Like, hey, I noticed these things happen during the event, and it's not to like shit on anyone, but it's really just like, hey, I think this would for the next one would make it a positive guest experience. And also for me, it was like increase bottle sales or like increase attendance or uh, whatever it was, right? So I'm going to continue doing that.
I feel like that also goes with like working with brands that align with you or like clients that align with you and like value your opinion and your feedback and stuff like that. There's sometimes it like it doesn't fit for whatever reason based on what it is, but nice to know, you know, that people are going to hear you out.
Oh yeah, it was amazing. I was like so excited when I walked in and like all the things that I said were like happening and I was like, "Oh my god, yay!" And then it was perfect. People were so excited based off of what I said. So,
I love that.
yeah.
I would like to continue with my little morning routine. So I've never like I don't know, like when my life is chaotic, like I just get very chaotic and I was like waking up and like jumping like straight into work or like if I even slept because I was doing a lot of like all-nighters trying to finish stuff and like I just like couldn't find a flow. So I did finally get like a good little like 30-minute morning routine, which like maybe sounds like a lot, but it's like wake up, like get coffee, do like a quick little like 10-minute Pilates something rather just to like move my body, like get it in the right spot. And then
Oof,
like
I need
time to
that.
just like read the Bible, journal, like eat a little something, something, read my emails really quick before my girls wake up. And then like I can like start my day. So it's like I'm already like getting time to do kind of like the quiet, still journaling thing. Like I know I'm getting a chance to move my body, even if it's not the most like strenuous thing, which is like so good for me. Oh, my skincare is in there too. I forgot about that one. I
How
love
early
my
are you waking up?
skincare routine. Huh? I wake up at 6:30 because I start my workday at 7.
Oh my god, I'm done.
But it's like a 30 minutes that's for me, which like I know is like
It's
super
amazing.
cliche, but like I just couldn't find like a flow of a morning routine that really like worked and I wanted to stick with and I was able to stick with this even like with traveling and whatever else. But it definitely makes me feel good that I'm like, okay, I know my skin's taken care of. I know I had like vitamins, like I know I had time to myself, like I know I've moved my body a little bit. So that has made me feel good. So that is my other one that I would really like to continue. My not a serious one, but it is kind of serious for me, is I'm gonna continue my press on nail game. Not a sponsor, but like if they want to, that would be phenomenal. But the Kiss brand press-ons, not the glue ones. I mean, I like those too, but specifically like the press-on nails, they come in so many options. I keep like 5 of them in my car at any given point because I just, one, don't have time to go get my nails done. Or maybe the better way of saying it is I just don't like, that's not how I want to spend my free time. So I don't do that. And yeah, I normally also don't like when my nails don't match my outfit. So I always would go with like the same thing, even when I did get my nails done. But because they're press-ons, I'm like, ooh, I'll try this like fun little pattern or whatever else. Y'all, I get so many compliments on my press-ons at every event. Like from all these beauty influencers like, girl, your nails are fire. And I'm like, press-ons. I did them in the car on the way here. I think the Glamnetic ones are also good. But we'll see. I'm gonna try those this week and a couple other ones. But I love me a press-on. So I keep them in my car for emergencies.
As I already told Kat, and Kat can tell you, not all press-ons are made equally. I've had
They are not.
0 for 2 with my press-on experience because I was trying so hard. I was like, maybe I'll be a press-on girly. For those times where my nails get too long and I'm falling into things and I break half my nail off and whatever. Um, yeah. So no, that's like so great, and I think that's such like a great way to keep yourself happy, keep yourself matching, and all of that. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's all of my continues. What do you
Okay,
want
I
to
have one
start
more.
doing? Oh,
Well,
you
I
have
have my
more?
silly. Yeah. Well, I just have
Oh,
my
sorry.
one silly one, which I don't know if it's that silly, but like I recently have been using credit card points to stay in like cute little boutique hotels. Um
Yes.
on my trips. And They're so cute. Like, they're so cute. They're such a vibe. Like, it just feels like you're in like this little bed and breakfast, like away from like a city or like a corporate, like meh, like bland hotel, which sometimes I stay in hotels. But oh, they're so cute. And I just want to say that I started treating myself a little bit and I love it.
I love that. I feel like
Yeah.
that helps break up your like sweet greens tour when you're like driving
Oh,
around doing all the things. Like it's nice to have like a cutesy
mhm.
little space that you're like, ooh, like
Yes. My next thing is I just need to like start having enough energy at the end of the day because these usually have like some sort of like bar or speakeasy or whatever
downstairs.
downstairs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I want to be that
No.
person that's like, oh, I'm just gonna sit at the bar and have a drink and be cool by myself. But like I can't do it yet. I'll get there one day, maybe next time. Okay, things we're starting to do or have started or want to start. Sorry. Things we want to
A
start.
bitch wants to set some boundaries. Like I just like I don't have boundaries with my time. I don't know how to say no to anything. Like every time I can't I've so many times I've been like, yep, I have now pulled another all-nighter and I will learn nothing from this.
Oh my
Like,
god.
it's time for me to like not do that anymore. And I've done some like serious reflection. I'm really going to try my best to not do that. I'm not confident October is my month, but I am serious about making an effort to not do that. So I'm working on trying to set boundaries. The one boundary I'm trying to set is if it is going to cause me to do work during times that my girls are awake, because then that puts stress on like me. That's sad for the girls. It's hard for Cody. Like that's the first place I'm trying to set a boundary that I've been doing okay with. And I would like once I'm good with that, I'll add on more. We're gonna do some habit stacking. We're gonna learn how to have some boundaries up in here. Setting boundaries is my number one that I need to like start doing immediately. What is yours? What's on your list?
Actual things we're starting to do. Okay, this is like a weird one for me. I have started to do pointed pen calligraphy, as people might know from my stories. And this is something that I don't know if I want to continue, but I have started it and I've done a shit ton more of it. And I'm like, okay, it's not as bad as it
You
used to
recall?
be, but I still don't like it because ink be inking and it's so
In the
temperamental. And
nib
I,
be nibbin.
the nibby nimmin, nimmin, the nibby nimmin, I can't speak today. Gosh. So yeah, that's something that I just wanted to share. A little LOL moment is that that's something I have started to do, and I don't know if I'm going to continue, but it is something that clients have been asking for.
That's so funny. We literally used to
It
joke
is
like
funny.
it's been over a year since the last time either of us have done true like pointed pen calligraphy. And I got that rush order and you've been doing a bunch of stuff. Like I've been doing a bunch of place cards and I'm like, oh, oh no.
Why are
I
we
don't
doing
know about this. I didn't even know if I had like enough nibs the other day to finish this like rush order I took on. I was like, ma'am, I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, I
I
feel that.
had to like go to the store and get black ink is how long it's been. I my other ink dried up in a bag because I guess somehow it got exposed and spilled or whatever. I was like, wow, like this is how long it's been,
That's amazing.
guys. This is how long. The black ink that you use the most is gone.
The audacity that we have to call ourselves calligraphers. It's fine. Everything is
uh,
fine.
okay,
Um,
your turn.
I am going to start outsourcing more. I'm going to start outsourcing, whether that is like small, like if I'm in the business for, what are they called? The assistant? What is it?
Virtual
The word?
assistants, VAs.
I am in the market for a virtual assistant. Please send me your recs because I just, again, going back to my stop of pretending I can do it all, like I cannot. I am actually losing it and I am in need of assistance virtually and otherwise, but specifically a virtual assistant. So I am very excited to start outsourcing things. I think part of the issue why I didn't do that before was like I didn't know my business enough to know what to outsource. And I was like, I can't hire somebody because I'm a fucking mess. I don't know what I'm going to tell them to do. And even if I did, I don't know what I need it to look like or, whatever else. So I do feel like I needed to grow to get to this point and like, just like get some things in order in my business. And I feel like I'm finally in that spot. So I am very excited, and I'm sure my husband and my daughters are very excited that I'm going to start outsourcing some things. So if y'all know a virtual assistant that you love and recommend, please send them my way because that is something that I am looking forward to starting. What about you?
Again, same. I would like to automate more of my processes because I did kind of go through what you went through, which I think was last year, I think it was the year before, like 2023. Wait.
Yeah.
No.
You're like ahead of me by 1 year in our business.
Whatever it was. Because I did hire a VA to like set up my Dubsado and do all that and then like help, like she would like do like 1 hour work for me a week, which is not something virtual assistants usually do. They usually have like a minimum, but like maybe ones that are like just starting out, or like, might have little wiggle room here and there, or just like,
or like squeezing you in.
Yeah. Or even like want to have experience working with a calligrapher, like a new person,
yeah.
right? Or a new profession. So yeah, I did all that and that was amazing. And now I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, I have these processes, I have these things in order. And now I'm like, okay, now I want to automate my workflows, get them to a point where it's less of me clicking and editing and blah, 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 all the templates that I do have.
Right.
And do it in a way where like, I'm not necessarily sending a reminder for payment or things like that, like, which people are honestly pretty good about, but not good. But just things like that where it's like, okay, this will auto do this thing.
Right.
And that's kind of where I want to go with that. So I feel like same but different.
Of course.
Which is also included in that is doing more follow-ups. And this is my last thing. So speaking of before when I was like, oh, like I sent client feedback. Part of that feedback too is like, hey, if you have any feedback for me, I'd love if you can leave me a review. And the way I'm like so terrified still to do that, even though like I know I'm providing a great experience, I'm like,
yeah,
I hate asking people to do things. But I've done it like recently for like literally 2 people, and both people were like, oh my God, immediately.
Nice.
So nice. So nice. So just follow up with people.
Ask for testimonials for sure.
Yeah, and give them positive feedback, right? Like say like, can I endorse you on LinkedIn or whatever it is? Like I actually haven't done that and I don't know how to do that. And if someone wants me to do it, I will gladly do that for you to figure that out. But yeah, like I think it's one of those things where that's something I want to start doing more of. So
amazing.
All right.
That was fun. I loved that.
It was really fun. Good idea.
Maybe we'll do this as like a quarterly or like twice a year reflection or something like that, just to like speak out loud. This is very off the cuff.
We're gonna have to what's it called? We're gonna have to listen to this back and be like, what did we say we want to do? I forget. But I think this is a really great episode for us, but also hopefully for everyone else. And Alex here, if I can get my shit together and make a little template for things you want to start, things you would like to continue in your business, and things you want to stop in your business, that's going to be made available to you. And yeah, I think it'll be really fun. And I think it's a good thing to do. Like I said, like how I review my finances monthly or even more than once monthly. It's something where I think it's so important to be reflecting on not only like how your business is affecting your personal life, like Kat is doing right now, and we're so proud of her. But also just like how your business is doing, what things you want to start doing, what things you want to stop doing. Because if you don't ever stop to take a moment and really look at what you have been doing, like it makes it really hard to grow, right? So I really hope that you guys are inspired to also do this sort of reflection, even if you agreed with all of ours or if you have some things to add. So yeah, we're hoping this inspires you, and we're so thankful to all of you for keeping up with us. Kat, where can people find us?
You can follow us on our podcast page on Instagram. That is at Keeping Up with the Colleagues, because calligraphers was too long. So that's where you can find our podcast. If you want to follow us individually, you can find me. I am at Cat Lauren Calligraphy. That's Cat with a C. And Alex, where can they find you?
I am Signs of Our Lives on Instagram. And also, if you're not already following this podcast or subscribe to it or however that works on whatever platform you're listening on, make sure you do so that you're always aware when new episodes come out and you're not always relying on seeing the podcast page for when we actually do post something. So,
yeah. And if you liked the podcast or you have been a listener, you're new, whatever, it would be like so wonderful. We would love a review. So wherever you listen to your podcast, if you would like to leave us a review, we would love that. Or if you just want to send us like a cute little DM, it doesn't have to be cute, but I mean, we love that. So if you would like to send us a DM with any feedback, any suggestions for future episodes as we're trying to get our shit together, yeah, we are open to any feedback and suggestions and all that good stuff. So please feel free to reach out and do that. But other than that, I think that's a wrap for today.
thanks for keeping up. Bye.
Bye.